start top in the middle. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to put everyone on mute, and then I will, and then we can like unmute if you guys have any questions. All right. So first, I want to thank everyone for hopping on just to hear more about coaching. Sometimes, in the world of social media, it can be very just like confusing as to what it is, how it flows. I'll just kind of share a little bit more about my story. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I feel like if you've followed me on social media, you kind of know the gist of it, or if you've worked with me in boot camps before. But basically, I joined with Beachbody 3 years ago, and I started mainly because I wanted to work on my own health and fitness journey. I was in a space where I had no clue what to do, no clue where to start, and I just needed help. And I immediately fell in love with the process, the programs, and the community that came behind it. And it was about 2 months in that my coach asked me if I'd considered coaching, and I instantly laughed in her face. I was like, "You're crazy." I was teaching full time. I had a side photography business, and I have a son and a husband. And so adding one more thing to my plate just seemed unrealistic. And I honestly just had the limiting belief of, I was like, "Girl, you realize I came here because I needed to lose weight, not because I can help people." And so that kind of just, I'm going to dive right into the first part is, what is a coach? I think so many people hear the words health and fitness, and then when they see someone who's leading it, I know in my case, I thought that it meant I had to have all the answers and I had to know how to help people get results. And what the beautiful thing is with Beachbody is we have this awesome trifecta that makes results happen and kind of is the magic behind health and fitness. We have Shaun T, we have Autumn Calabrese, we have Joel Freeman. They are the trainers behind these programs. They are the professionals and the masterminds of creating a program that's going to help people get results. We have Autumn and Alana, who are the nutritionalists that work for Beachbody that help people learn how to follow meal plans. But what's the hardest part about health and fitness? Sticking to it. And that's where coaches come in. We don't have to be the professionals. Beachbody has taken care of that part. As coaches, our job is to help people, help support them, help lock arms with them, and help them on their journey to finding a way to make it work within a lifestyle, not feeling overwhelmed and being there for them. And when I learned that about coaching, it took this huge weight off of something that I was loving, but I felt like I wasn't worthy of because I didn't have this, training behind it, and really made me proud and made me excited to help coach people. Because for me, the main part that's made this journey more exciting is not doing it alone, and allowing and kind of opening up my eyes to realize hey, I can help people. They can see me and I can share what it is that I'm doing, and then I can say, let's do it together. And ultimately, that's what a coach is. So what is it that we do? Well, the very first thing, and this is probably unheard of, and it might be silly if you're not used to this, but we get to take care of ourselves. That is number one. The very first thing out of the bag that we have to do is start taking care of ourselves. And that's why, for me, when I started coaching, it was kind of the best form of accountability, because nothing is going to make you want to take care of yourself more than if you've asked someone to come do this with you and you're like, "Oh, hold up, I got to show up and I got to start taking care of myself." So what we get to do as Beachbody coaches is we start using the programs. We start doing the workouts. We start following the meal plans to the best of our abilities in our lifestyle. We start sharing about how, the products that we choose on our journey are helping us. So for me, when I first started, Shakeology was the only product I was using. And then I fell in love with Energize, which if you don't know what Energize is, you might know what Sunshine Syrup is, because that's what I call it. But those are some of my key things. But we have this plethora of products that are going to help people get results. And what we get to do as coaches is we get to help them use those things as we use the ones that work for us. I can honestly say I don't use every single one. I find the ones that work for me. And that's what so don't feel like this pressure of like, oh, you have to go buy everything. So the next thing, what do? We share out. We share out how we're taking care of ourselves while we're taking care of ourselves. And a lot of you that are in here probably found Beachbody or found your coach, if you're in here with another coach, through seeing them on social media or through a friendship that you have been sharing or talking to other people about what it is that you're doing. And so that's what we get to do, is we start taking care of ourselves and then sharing it out with others and letting them know that this is here for them to use too. The next thing is taking care of our minds. One thing we work on is just personal development. When you're talking and working with different people, making sure that that we're growing and becoming better within ourselves is a key part of this. And then building relationships. I know, throughout times, I wish I could get all of these, I wish every single person that I connect with on social media could get these amazing results. But when people come and work with me, that is my job, is helping them get results. And so that's another thing we get to do as coaches. But the main part is knowing that you're never in it alone. And that is the next thing I want to talk about, is the training. As coaches, when you join our team, you receive training to learn about what it is, learn how to start. And one of the very first trainings that you'll receive, if you decide to join in with coaching, is a self-paced Google form that walks you through the basic steps, from setting up your direct deposit to, to learning about how to navigate our systems. And the final thing is joining in our team page. So just very similarly to our accountability groups, you also receive access to our entire team of coaches. You receive support from other women all over the world who are coaching too, or I shouldn't say world, US, Canada, and UK, who are coaching too, and you get to learn from them. I'm constantly growing. I've been doing this 3 years, and every single training I get to be in on, I'm learning something new and I'm becoming more inspired. And so that's something that I think really helped me kind of take ownership in my coaching business. Was at first, you're not going to know everything. With like any other job, you have to go through training. You have to learn how to do it. I, to this day, am still learning new things every single day. So you receive training and mentorship through whichever coach you are here with. You get our team. So you're never on this or doing this alone. Okay, last thing I wanted to kind of touch on, and then I'll do a Q&A and answer anyone's questions. But the next thing is, probably what you're wondering here is okay, Lauren, how do we start this? How do you actually get started? So with Beachbody, there's a couple of options. Obviously, you first, baseline, you want to have access to the workouts, because to be a product of the product, you want to be able to share with others. Obviously, right now, the best way to do that is through what we call, I call it a starter kit, but a challenge pack. But if you're someone who's here and you already have the Beachbody workouts, or if you've already been set up with a kit, you basically can sign up to become a coach for free. The only thing is, it's a $39 startup fee, but then if you've already purchased a kit, you get that $39 back immediately. It's just a simple form. So essentially, if you've been set up with a kit, you can sign up to be a coach for free. Now, obligations. Let's talk about fees. So becoming a coach is, it's a business. You are basically you're owning your, what is the word I'm thinking of? You're becoming a service, basically. The one thing that's different about our business and other online businesses throughout there is we actually get to keep in touch with our clients and help them use it, help them use the workouts. So hold on, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, monthly fees. So to take ownership of your business, like any other business, we have monthly coach fees. And so it's $15 a month. But what I have found is with the $15 a month, this goes towards the fact that we don't have to keep any inventory. We don't have to deal with any customer service per se. If there's like an error or if there's, anything wrong with product, the $15 a month covers customer service, shipping and handling. It covers your website, everything that basically Beachbody does. If you think about someone who would open up their own coffee shop, the amount of money they would have to put into investing in their coffee shop, keeping inventory, running and creating new product, we don't have to do that. Basically, the $15 a month covers everything that would be running your business. What is one nice perk though too is once you become a coach, you instantly get 25% off of everything. So for those of you that love Shakeology, that bumps it down to $99. For those of you that love Energize, that bumps it down to $38. Any of the other products from the apparel to anything else that you might receive, 25% off. Also, one final detail is military. If you have a military spouse or if you've been in the military, then that fee is waived. So those are kind of the logistics behind the income or the obligation. I always just make sure that whatever, with making income, I make that back. So if I order my Shakeology, if that's $99, I'm going to work to help people so that I can make that income back, which leads me to my final thing about how we actually make money. So with Beachbody, they do all the hard work for us. Like I said, they come up with the workouts, with the new excitement. Like right now, we have a brand new workout that's launched now. But it actually isn't going to be launched to everybody. It's called The Work. It's an advanced program, but they're constantly coming out with new things to keep people engaged. And what we get as coaches is we make commission. So anytime someone gets set up with their products and tools and workouts, we make 25 to 40% commission. So the basic kit that you would have a friend or family member get set up with, gets them set up with an entire year of workouts, an entire month of whatever it is, whether it's the Shakeology or their pre and post workout drinks, whatever kit it is that they sign up with, you make about $50. So when you're thinking about your friends and family, all of us can use health and fitness in our lives. All of us can use and give this gift. It's health and fitness is a gift that people take for, we take it for granted. People around the world are constantly, there's the need for health and fitness, and we get to help set them up with their tools. And then in turn, we get to make a nice chunk of income back from it. There's a lot of different streams of income that we can build upon. So as you grow within your coaching business, you can, there's different ways you can earn income through mentoring other coaches. As your team grows, there's different bonuses involved. But for the basic startup, no matter what scale of a coach you are, you make 25 to 40% commission depending on the product, which is, I just feel like is a really good incentive. Why not make some income while you're getting yourself healthy? So that is my spiel. I will answer any questions. Please feel free to unmute yourself, drop it in the chat on the corner. I'd be happy to share. And then if any of the other coaches, if you guys want to share anything, just your any personal shares are totally welcome, but not pressured if you don't want to. But other than that, our team is always looking to grow and just kind of expand. My vision with this is, a lot of us stem from West Virginia, just from the names that I can see. And West Virginia is struggling with obesity. And I just kind of feel like it's our mission to, like, why not? Let's be a light and let's turn this around. All right. If you have military and receive the fee waived, do you still get the discounts? Yes, Amanda. So for each household, one of your, so for example, my husband Zane is military, prior military. So he is also signed up as a coach. So we have multiple businesses. His fee is waived and he still gets the discount. So ultimately you're getting it for free, which is, I always think, just a nice incentive that Beachbody shows they care. All right. Any other questions? When would training start up? Okay, perfect. So trainings, our new coach mentorship. So first, the new coach training you receive immediately upon signing up. And then the mentorship. So it's basically just a 7-day Facebook group that we put you in, and with all the other new coaches that are, growing their businesses too. And it starts next Monday. We do run them monthly, but the October one would be next Monday. When you started coaching, were you intimidated by anything, making money, spending the money, incoming, especially with so much on your plate? Absolutely. So honestly, I'm just going to speak very candidly. So my coach asked me twice to coach. And the first time I ignored her. And the second, I didn't ignore her. I said, I'll think about it, which if you know me well enough, if I ever say I'll think about it, it means no. I'm just being polite. So for me, coaching seemed very intimidating. I had no clue really even like what it was about. I just knew that my coach was hosting this group and I loved being in the group, but I wanted no part of like leading the group. I was just kind of like, no, like you keep that. And then she asked me and invited me into a group. It was sharing information very similar to this call. And it was a month later. And she had explained the different paths of coaching. And one of the paths was being a discount coach. And her words were, you don't have to do anything. You sign up as a coach just for the discount of the Shakeology. Well, in my mind, I was like, oh, wait, I love Shakeology already. Might as well get it cheaper. And I had zero intentions of ever coaching anyone. I think I even told her that. I said, I'm going to sign up as a coach for the discount, but don't think I'm going to do anything with it. I said those words to her. And what happened was when I did that, I kind of took the pressure off myself. But I've always loved social media. I've always been posting on it from, just almost like a journal of my life. And so what do we do when we start things that we love? We start posting about it. And so what happened was people started asking me questions and I started losing weight and I started, getting happy. Like people could feel my happiness. And so what happened was with coaching, I kind of slid into this with no pressure. And that's the nice thing about it is when it's your business, there's no pressure behind it. I worked a job that had so much pressure behind I was a teacher at the time. So I had so much pressure on, lessons plans had to be done and grades had to be inputted and, testing and, all my kids had to have these certain amount of scores. I had a job that had so much pressure that coaching felt good. It felt good to do something that didn't have pressure behind it, that I was in control of it. And what was funny was I worked harder when I didn't have the pressure on me. And so that was kind of something that, really helped encourage me. So for this, spending the money, I already saw the value in Shakeology. And so I was spending the money. I wanted it cheaper. And then as for making income, that's one thing that our team does a really good job at is really working towards like mini goals and making it fun, and kind of keeping you pushing, but there's never any pressure behind it. So I hope that answers that question. So the intimidation factor went away once I realized that like no one was telling me what to do. And that's actually what made it more fun. All right, Amanda, talk a little bit about how you balance the full-time job with part-time coaching. That is what, absolutely. And you'll find our team, I am the only one essentially doing this full-time and making a full-time income. We have some new moms on our team that are starting this with goals of that. So they're home with their children right now to stay at home, but they're still in that sense of like working on a part-time income. So what the balance was really just being intentional with my time, doing the tasks that were going to help my business. So for me, I know, I'm getting better at not multitasking, but for me, one thing that was really helpful was kind of taking the tasks that it was to coach and mashing them up with things that I could kind of do together. So for one, my workouts. Now my time is a little bit spent differently on social media, but back in the day when I was doing this full time, I was still sharing my workouts through my Instagram or through my Facebook. And so I kind of got really good at like having my plan and having my routine and just started sharing it. As for time restrictions with part-time coaching, you'll find most coaches are part-time coaches. And so just being intentional about, when we listen, if you're listening to personal development or listening to a training call to learn more about coaching, I used to do it while I was in the car driving to school. So that was kind of something like I was already in the car, but instead of listening to, 102, I was listening to a training that was going to help me grow. Another thing was I could do a lot from my phone. So for me, I share this opportunity with a lot of people because honestly, my coach, that was how I learned about this. So what I would do too is before I would walk in the house at the end of the day, I would make sure that I would reach out and like share this, like invite 5 people to come to my boot camp with me. So like I got like really intentional about the little pockets of my time. If you think about the time that we mindlessly scroll or watch Netflix or honestly go to the bathroom, you know what I mean? Like I used to use those little pockets of time to get some work done on my phone. And I think just having that under that like honest expectation of when you come into this as a part-time job and a part-time coach, this is not a get rich quick. This is the harder you work, the more you'll earn, the more dedicated, then the more you'll receive, in the sense of like your time spent and, the growth of your business. And so when you come into this, it's a building process. It took me about 2 years to really feel confident in the sense that I was matching my income, but it was something that I like had that passion for. So we have a lot of trainings and different visuals that will help you create a schedule in a part-time scenario. But that was a great question. To inviting people to your team, how and where do you find people to invite? Okay, so great question. So the power of social media is an amazing thing. Right now, I'm 3 years in, and social media, building relationships with people is huge for my business. But before the social media days really boomed, this business was grown through, really the people around you. When you first start coaching, your people and community within, I always say like 2 to 3 degrees are going to be how this business starts. And I always say it's kind of like a coffee. I think I already referred to a coffee shop, but I'm going to refer to it again. But if you would open up a coffee shop, who would be the people that you would invite to your opening? Who would be the people that you would want to come in? Most likely your best friends, your coworkers, your family, your friends, your cousins, things like that. That is how my business started. And in this business, we start with small goals of let's try to help 3 friends a month. 3 friends a month will make you back your investment and more. And as we keep doing that, I can think of 3 people like just in my neighborhood that could use health and fitness in their life. So when you start inviting people, it starts off small. It starts out with your close network, and then it expands to bigger as you keep sharing with people what you're doing. So now my network expands a little bit bigger to people I don't know, strangers that are following me on Instagram or, people that I've started relationships with along the way. But you'd be surprised what word of mouth and friends and family can do for you. And there's, 3 years in, I still just last month, one of my cousins decided to do this with me. But the cool thing about this job is it's about being consistent, and it's about being present. And with health and fitness, the more people see that you're going to be there, the more they're like, hold on, like, what is she doing? Like, there's a lot of people that have kind of come out of the woodwork that are like, all right, I've been watching you. And that's, a lot how this business grows. But in the beginning, it's going to be close friends, family, people that you would invite to go to a Zumba class with you. This is no different than going to a Zumba class. You're just giving them a better deal and cheaper because they're getting it for the whole year. So kind of like that. All right. Anyone else? I am happy to answer anything. Caitlin, Crystal, if you guys think there's anything I've left out, be happy to.
No, I just wanted to vouch for what you said about juggling a very busy schedule. I think that was one of my first concerns when I talked to you about coaching, was that I was in the process of moving.
Right.
A new position at work from my regular 9 to 5, which ends up being like a 9 to 8 or 8 to 8. So I think it's something that you find little pockets of time because you're passionate about it, and you're going to, for me, I'm going to be spending an hour and a half of my day getting my workout in anyways.
Right.
And the first thing of the morning, I typically am, but even before coaching, looking for the motivation for my day. So I share that. I always have. So it was just kind of redirecting where that energy was going, I guess.
I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I couldn't agree more. I've actually written a post about this one time, but if you've ever watched the series Parenthood on Netflix or anything, before I started this health and fitness journey, I binge watched that entire season, and I actually did the math because they're like hour-long episodes in 3 weeks. And so that was like 105 hours of TV that I binge watched in 3 weeks. And I think like the things I could have done with that time, but at that point in time in my life, I wasn't there yet. But now, but those were times when I was saying I didn't have time. It's just about being more intentional about what we're doing with our time and sharing it out with others. So yes, I totally agree there. And I can vouch for that too, because I've been the queen of wasting time. All right, guys. Well, it is 8:30 and I don't want to keep you guys much longer, but here's what I would love for you to do. If you are thinking about this and you're, ready to dive in, or if you have any questions, however you talk to the coach that brought you in here, message them, let them know your thoughts, let them know any other questions that might pop up. I have an application that you can easily fill out. Is just a quick Google form. If you've come in here with me, and I'd be happy to send it to you, just let me know. But we have a really awesome, amazing group of women that just are passionate about helping people, but in a realistic way. And I would love for all of you that are considering to dive in with us. So we will leave it at that. And if you want, I will also send the recording, and for the coaches that are in here, I will send the recording to you so you can send it to the people that you had sent the link to also. So I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and we will hopefully see some of you guys soon. Bye.